So, the New Year's parties are done, the confetti has settled, and the resolutions are all set. You know the ones. This year, I'm gonna hit the gym, eat better, finally change my life. We've all been there, right? But before we get too excited about our big plans for 2026, we need to face a pretty hard truth first. Now, our source material for this explainer drops a pretty shocking number. It says that a staggering 99% of people will break their New Year's resolutions. And the really crazy part? Most of them won't even make it to the end of January. Ouch. So, what's going on here? I mean, are we just bad at setting goals, or is there something fundamentally wrong with the way we try to achieve them? Well, today, we're going to dig into 5 golden rules from our source that might just flip the script on how you see success. Okay, let's dive right into rule number 1. And this sort of is a total game changer because it flips motivation on its head. See, most of us think about rewards, right? I'll get this if I do that. But this rule says forget the reward, focus on the penalty. It taps into a really powerful psychological trigger we all have. And that trigger is called loss aversion. It's this weird quirk in our brains where the pain of losing something feels about twice as strong as the pleasure of gaining the exact same thing. It's not logical, but it's how we're wired. We are hardwired to avoid pain way more than we are to seek pleasure. Just think about your own life for a second. Why do you really stop at a red light? Is it because you're thinking about being a safe driver, or is it because you're afraid of getting a huge ticket? For most of us, it's the fear of that ticket. It's the fear of losing money. The fear of loss is just a much, much stronger motivator. And check this out. This isn't just theory. The source, Sonu Sharma, tells this amazing story about putting this into practice in his own office. The rule was dead simple. If anyone, and I mean anyone, including him, the CEO, showed up after 8 a.m., they had to pay a 25,000 rupee penalty. No excuses. And the results? It worked 100% of the time. No one was ever late again. Okay, so loss can get you started. What keeps you going? That brings us to rule number 2, which is all about understanding the real cost of success. It's about paying the price. Our source puts it beautifully. Basically, the universe is ready to give you whatever you want, but it's not free. There's always a price, and that price is sacrifice. You have to be willing to give something up to get something greater. To really drive this home, the source uses this powerful contrast from mythology. You have Duryodhana, who spent his entire life desperately trying to gain a kingdom, clinging to power, and in the end, he lost it all. And then you have Lord Rama, who sacrificed his rightful throne for the sake of what was right, and he became this eternal symbol of virtue. It just goes to show you, sometimes letting go is way more powerful than holding on. So how do you actually apply this? It's a simple 2-step process. First, you name your goal. Be specific. And then, right next to it, you have to define your sacrifice. What are you willing to give up to get it? Is it an hour of sleep? Is it weekend parties? You have to decide on the price you're willing to pay. All right, on to rule number 3. And this one is something we hear a lot, but maybe you don't take seriously enough. It's about the people you surround yourself with. Your circle, the people you let into your life, is absolutely critical. The source uses this kind of visceral analogy. Think about it. If you knew someone smelled really bad, would you go in for a big hug? Of course not. You'd keep your distance because you don't want that smell to get on you. We have to have that same discipline with the energy we allow around us. Negative people have a kind of bad odor for your mind. So what does a positive circle look like? Well, these are the people who talk about ideas, not other people. They're focused on the future, not stuck complaining about the past. They're the kind of people whose thoughts, whose entire vibe just feels clean and inspiring. And really, it all boils down to this. Success isn't just going to show up anywhere. It's looking for a good home, a clean and positive environment to settle in. You have to create that welcoming space in your own mind first. Okay, rule number 4. Now, this one might sting a little because it's a habit that is so easy to fall into. It's time to completely ditch the victim mentality. No more feeling sorry for yourself, no more blaming the world. To explain this, the source tells this perfect little story. Just picture this. You're in a parking lot and 2 cars accidentally have a tiny little bump while backing out. Nothing serious. Both drivers get out of their cars. The first driver, the victim, just explodes. This is just my luck. My entire day is ruined. But then you have the second driver, the victor. He looks at the exact same situation and says, wow, Thank goodness no one was hurt. We're actually pretty lucky. One event, two totally different perspectives. One person is powerless, the other is empowered. And that is the whole lesson right there. The thing that happens to you is not nearly as important as the story you tell yourself about it. You can't always control what happens, but you can always control how you see it. And that perspective, that is what directs your entire life. And that brings us to our fifth and final golden rule. And honestly, this one is the big one. It's about legacy. It's about consciously and actively shaping your own value in this world. Our source uses this incredible analogy. Think about a simple iron rod. The raw material is what it is. Now, if you take that rod and shape it into a horseshoe, maybe it's worth 1,000 rupees. If you craft it into thousands of tiny needles, it might be worth even more. But if you take that same iron and forge it into delicate, precise watch springs, its value skyrockets to 100,000 rupees.
And that's the point, isn't it? We are all born like that raw iron rod. Our value isn't based on where we start. It's determined by what we shape ourselves into. It's all about what you have the capacity to become.
And so we end with this. This is a thought I want to leave you with, and it's a heavy one. For the people who look up to you, your friends, your family, your children, your life will ultimately serve as one of two things. It will either be a warning of what not to do, or it will be an example of what is possible. The choice of which story your life tells, well, that's entirely up to you.